Hello everyone, and we cycled all the way to central London where we're going to have a look at the Christmas lights, which normally would be extremely crowded here in central London, but now with the lockdown it would be maybe a little bit different.
Every year from November to early January, central London will change with loads of decorations, from complete street makeovers to great shopping windows, and we start our journey on Oxford Street.
So, as you can see, it's not as quiet as I expected, but at Oxford Circus the first thing that I noticed is that they changed the underground signs for now into the symbols that you have on the new released PlayStation 5 controller. So they changed the underground signs there. I don't understand why you would spend your marketing budget at the moment when there's no one going out on that, but let's go back to the real Christmas lights here in central London. I think here in Oxford Street they changed the light every time, and we have a nice bus. We're going to East Acton, because now it doesn't make sense, because I wanted to say the lights here with the text, another bus, but that's London anyway, the buses. But what I wanted to say is, besides that you have those London buses, is that the text, those boards change every year, I have the feeling. House of Phrases and John Lewis is quite similar, and they're always like this. I think of all the Christmas decorations, they're one of the more boring ones.
While House of Phrases and John Lewis always have the same lights, this isn't the case at the end of Oxford Street near Marble Arch, Selfridges.
As every year, it's Selfridges who has most of the money to decorate that building the nicest, and they have the nicest shop windows and the nicest decoration there as well. It's time to get more into the side streets because there are way better spots here for the Christmas lights.
Don't stick to London's main streets. You have, for example, St. Molten Street next to Bond Street Station, and then of course New Bond Street itself.
So while we're now walking on Bond Street, where there's interesting discussions, those Christmas lights that you see everywhere in the city of London, every borough puts their own Christmas lights on top. So every year, and in this case it's the borough of Westminster that put those lights here in the street. And this street is way too expensive. Too many expensive shops. So the arcade between Piccadilly and Bond Street, that one is really nice. But what they did at Fortnum Mason is quite great this year, because they took their old Christmas postcard or advertisement that they had and then created there a whole display shopping window from. It's pretty cool. And now we're at Piccadilly Circus, where there's no Christmas decoration, but if we turn around into Regent Street, there's always the famous angels, and then we're going to reach Carnaby Street, which is always the prettiest decoration that you can find here in London.
London's Christmas lights tradition began in 1954 on Regent Street, when local retailers and businesses, through the Regent Street Association, arranged for a display. The aim was to show that post-war London did not have to look drab around Christmas. In the 1950s and 1960s, the installation spread to other streets, with the Oxford Street Christmas display premiering in 1959. Quickly, the lights grew to be a key part of London's festive calendar.
3, 2, 1. Do it, Kylie!
I don't think you can get it any more Christmas than this on Regent Street, with the angels that are hanging here every year, and of course the buses again. They always block the view, but they are here and they belong here on this street. A typical London Christmas view.
Yes, the Christmas spirit is among us. As long as people shop with those retailers, the retailers will keep putting in money into those Christmas lights. However, in Carnaby Street, they always have a charity in mind for their Christmas decoration. And this year, it is about help refugees.
I'm a bit disappointed about Carnaby Street. I don't know what's going on. It's more toned down. It makes more sense as a pandemic kind of Christmas street with give heart, hope, heal, believe. Last year, this whole street was like a whole sea life about save the planet, save the earth, save the oceans, basically. Maybe there will be better Christmas decorations still left in Covent Garden for us. So even Covent Garden looks quite deserted at the moment in lockdown, quite empty. These lights are most of the time there. They always have something hanging here, but I think the Christmas balls, that's what I hang with Christmas. And the big Christmas tree is standard tradition here. But this gives you a kind of a Christmas vibe, I hope. I hope I've showed you Christmas in London, and where you are in the world, I wish you a Merry Christmas. The arcade between Bond Street and, what's this street? Piccadilly Street. It's not Piccadilly, it is Piccadilly Street.
What's your favorite brand on this street?
My favorite brand on this street is that weird shop where we saw that ugly skull. I have no idea what that brand is. It's always those buses. It's always those buses. I don't know, I don't like any brand here. It's all too expensive. All on the floors, magnet. My favorite brand. I'm not a brand channel, but my favorite brand is the cheapest, no, not cheapest, the best value for money brand.